Last news is out of Australia. Australians are accepting of migrants but negative towards Islam, poll finds. Australia is a country that accepts gay couples, hates the big banks, considers second generation migrants Australian, but the majority feel negatively towards Islam. New wide-ranging data released by YouGov has revealed fascinating insights into the Australian identity, its place in the world, and many contradictions. 51% of Australians had unfavourable sentiments towards Islam, and only 10% looked upon the religion positively, making Australia more negative than 17 of the other 22 countries surveyed. In fact, 37% of people said they were very unfavourable, the most negative response available. And this was far higher than the milder opinion of fairly favorable, which is 14%, and made it the single most common response to the religion. 23% of people were neutral. Here's the deal, though, guys. This is a religion. They're not talking about Muslims here. They're not saying Australia is unfavorable towards Muslims. They're saying Australia is unfavorable towards Islam, and it's a belief system. So
this is great, actually.
This is fantastic news.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know an entire country like Australia could understand the difference between hating an ideology versus hating a group of people. Like they have there's a huge negative view towards Islam, but they're cool with immigrants. Right. That's a very mature position. Wow, I'm very impressed with Australia. That's pretty amazing. To be able to, I mean, I thought that's only people that follow these discussions and like these podcasts are like, oh yes, I'm against the ideology, but I don't hate the people. I thought there's a very small group of people that could make that differentiation.
Well, now we have a huge country.
Now we have an entire country that says like, yeah, we don't like Islam, but we like migrants. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. That's a lot of progress. I guess. I don't know if this is because of the work of atheist activists in Australia, but if that's the case, good job on whoever is talking. This is a level of maturity that I didn't think that we would be reaching on such a scale in any place. That's pretty amazing. I wonder what other people. Jonathan is saying that's awesome. Yeah, I agree. Let's see what the top comment is. This is pretty good. Eddie is saying Islam is toxic. Why should they accept? I think he meant to say accept, but he said expect. But yep, I agree with that. Another top comment is a little bit too long to read. Simon is saying is the same here in eastern part of Canada, Quebec. Parvin is saying surprise. But this is very, very encouraging. I am very. Oh, somebody is posting an Atheist Republic article. That's great. But great. So this shows that we're making progress. If we could do that more, I mean, to me, it seemed very challenging to keep getting more and more people to find that Goldilocks zone. To not be anti-people but be anti-ideas. But if a country like Australia can manage that, then I think that there's hope for other countries as well. And now we could keep pointing. Actually, now we could keep pointing at. This is, you know what? Okay, I just thought of this because the beautiful thing about this is now we could keep pointing at this as proof that it's possible. Because a lot of people on our side that think this is the position that you need to have to be against the ideology, but not against the people that believe it, think it's impossible to convince people of that. Because they think that people see ideas as part of their identity, and it's going to be impossible for us to convince more people to separate these from each other, right? But now every time, so even people on our side that agree with us keep saying that it's a lost cause to try to, if people hate Islam, they will end up hating Muslims, right? Or if people want to defend Muslims, they end up supporting Islam. That's just how it's going to be. But now, because of Australia, we could just drop this article every time somebody says that that's impossible, right? We could just use this as like, maybe it's not as impossible as you thought. So thank you, Australia, for leading the way on that and showing us the level of maturity that we didn't think would be possible on such a scale. John Brown is saying there was another article that shows Muslims are treated badly. Oh, okay, well, that's not good. Well, I mean, Muslims are treated badly. You have to be careful with that because, of course, Muslims are treated badly. But is it increasing? Is it decreasing? And are people just looking at the total numbers, or are they adjusting it as per capita? Because unfortunately, you will always find an example of people doing horrible things, right? But people try to use anecdotal examples to sometimes show that something is getting worse or something is getting better, and the anecdotal evidence is the worst way to make that point. And even when they show data, they're not collecting the data. Like what they do is they look at total numbers rather than adjusting it per capita. So be very careful with what you're looking at as a source. And actually, we need to be careful with what we're looking. Do you know if this is a legit study or not? Like, we need to look into this and see if this is.
It is.
It is? What? Okay. So Ali did the research. If it's wrong, blame Ali. Okay, but let's see. I'm just joking. Now, Ali does a lot more research. Like, the beautiful thing about having Ali here is she actually goes and checks the news a lot before she gets on the show, unlike the rest of us. But I'm doing other things for Atheist Republic, so I don't get the time. But we need Ali to look into this, so it's really good to have you back. Christy is sending us a heart. I want to see what Godless Heathen said. It's getting better, but Australians are very racist. Okay, so Godless Heathen is confirming that racism is a big problem in Australia, but it's getting better. If Australia can learn to hate Islam without hating Muslims more and more, that would be, this study suggests maybe things are getting better in Australia. Jack is saying depends on what they mean by treated badly too. Are they lumping in Muslims being offended by anything anti-Islam, for example? Yes, exactly. I've seen a lot of studies that says like, people are being Islamophobes, which is a nonsense term, and more and more people are there are more hate crimes against Muslims are rising. And then when you look at the study, what they included as hate crimes, they consider people talking shit about Islam as hate crimes against Muslims. So be very careful about, for example, some places where they have shown to be incredibly biased with their data collection is the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, and also what's that other organization? What's that other organization? That part I forgot the other name.
Amnesty?
AD something, I forgot. But they can be trusted as well. Let me see. I think Google will tell me if I say SPLC versus ADL. No, is that ADL? No. ADL or... Just want to make sure you guys don't trust this data. Yeah, ADL. Don't trust information from ADL. Yeah, Anti-Defamation League. Yeah, both. They're very biased, but the way, there were some of their studies that they were showing that white supremacy is rising, and it was ridiculous on how they were counting white supremacy. There were even no, I'm not going to get into that, but if you look at the examples of how they cherry-picked the data to show that anti-supremacy was becoming a bigger problem, it was absolutely ridiculous the way they collected it. But these are very biased sources, and I don't trust them. Subham is saying, I try to spread the term anti-Muslim bigotry instead of Islamophobia. I guess that would be a better term. Yes, exactly. Islamophobia is a bullshit term, and every time somebody uses it, please tell them to use the term anti-Muslim bigotry instead of Islamophobia. People that want to try to protect Islam are trying to keep spreading the word Islamophobia because they want to protect Islam as an idea by trying to mix it up with bigotry. Attacking Islam is not bigotry. If they want to identify something as bigotry, they should use the word Muslim, not the word Islam.
Atheists are under attack in many places. If they were Christians, their voices would be heard. If they were Jews, their voices would be heard. If they were Muslims, their voices would be heard. But they are atheists, and not many seem to be listening. Let's make it difficult for them to ignore us. We have built a global community, and now we are tearing down geographic, cultural, and language barriers so we can find each other and support each other. In the last decade, we have built the largest atheist community in the world. Now we're doing the same in other languages. With your help, we have started Atheist Republic in Persian and Arabic.
انضميت مؤخراً لأسرة Atheist Republic وحيصير عندي بودكاست باللغة العربية.
As we grow, we can dedicate more time, staff, and resources to start doing the same in Spanish, Portuguese, Malay, Bengali, Urdu, Hindi, and other languages. We are providing community, support, informative content, and amplifying the voices of those who need protection, especially in countries where people feel isolated simply for their lack of belief. We want to be there for them, and we are only getting started. Help us get there. Check in the description for ways you can support our projects.